Originally, I had planned to upload a video on the Brachiosaurus and its involvement in the Jurassic Park franchise, as well as its cut from the film Jurassic World. But some very interesting news has come out about the last entry in the series that would have been a bit different from what we finally got. We now know that originally, Trevorrow wrote in another hybrid dinosaur besides the Indominus Rex to be featured in Jurassic World. This creature would be part Stegosaurus and part Triceratops, even though the animal's skull traits more closely resemble a Stego-Ceratops, and would have been in the wilds of Isla Nublar during what I will assume to be the second half of the film. Artist Bodin Sterba, who helped work on Jurassic World, showcased a few images of this new beast that give a very detailed look at the creature that never appeared in the fourth film. Rumors speculate that the dinosaur would be in a scene that involved Owen and Claire stumbling upon an adult and juvenile in the wild. Apparently, Claire was surprised as she did not know that this specific dinosaur was on the island, and Stegoceratops would then charge at Owen when he ventures a little too close to the infant. None of this is currently confirmed, however, and it would seem that we may have to wait longer to hear the full story on this dinosaur's inclusion in Jurassic World. We do, however, know why the animal was cut from the film. In an interview with Colin Trevorrow, he had this to say about the hybrid. In an earlier draft, there was a scene where Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard come across another hybrid in the jungle. It informed them that Dr. Wu has been making other hybrids under her nose. Then my 6-year-old son watched Return of the Jedi and said to me, "Dad, if Leia is also a Jedi, that means that Luke isn't unique." It was like, ha, okay. And for some reason I applied that to this other thing and felt like there could be only one hybrid dinosaur. The idea that there was more than one made it feel less like the one synthetic among all the other organics. And suddenly it seemed entirely wrong to have it in the movie. I suddenly hated the idea. But the toy still exists as a kind of remnant because Hasbro toys are locked a year out. While the dinosaur did make it into Jurassic World in some capacity with the computer screen in the engine lab showcasing the animal as well as the Indominus, it was physically cut from the film early on. Personally, I'm very pleased that they did let this dinosaur be featured in the film, as it would be a major detraction to the importance of the park failing as well as one-up the importance and genetic freak that the Indominus Rex was. I don't hate the creature at all, but I believe that it was a right move on letting the Indominus be the only hybridized animal to be featured within the film. My opinion on hybrid dinosaurs in itself is pretty negative. There's a usual defense to the hybridizing of dinosaurs in the Jurassic Park series by some people saying that all of the dinosaurs are inherently hybrids, and none of them are true dinosaurs in a sense. However, I want to counter this argument by putting forth the fact that originally, Jurassic Park strove to be the shining example of scientific integrity in what our current understanding of what these animals not only looked like, but how they behaved and moved as well. Jurassic Park's Velociraptors are often criticized by some for being too large. However, if these same detractors were to ever read the original novel, they would know that Alan Grant's taxonomy of raptors is universal, and that he uses the species Velociraptor as an umbrella term when identifying all raptors. Whether you believe the raptors to be Deinonychus, Utahraptors, Dakotaraptors, or true Velociraptors is rather moot, and the important thing is they're being depicted as scientifically realistic as possible on film, regardless of classification preference. Now, should this have been stated on film? Of course. But the answer is still out there, waiting for you to find. Hybrid dinosaurs are not scientific. In fact, they're the opposite of scientific fact and are more akin to science fiction. I know some may find what I'm saying ridiculous when applying it to a franchise that is inherently sci-fi, but even the concept of cloning dinosaurs is still a topic in search that many scientists yearn to replicate in the real world today. They may never accomplish it with mosquitoes stuck in amber, but they are continually trying to replicate mammoths and other extinct creatures every day through varying means. My opinion is that taking one dinosaur and mixing its traits with another to create a genetic freak that has no grounding or base in anything real is just flat out not Jurassic Park. At this point in time, when making several different hybrids that bring nothing but mutating spectacle to the series, we've lost all awe, wonder, and soul the original dinosaurs brought us. No longer are there majestic scenes of the scientifically accurate Brachiosaurus that grazes and moves in shockingly beautiful ways, and now we have them replaced with genetic monsters that rip and tear their way through tourists and scientists. To me, this is a huge no-go, and something that should be avoided at all costs. They aren't necessarily headed in this direction in future films, and I actually think the final hybrid we will see will be the Indoraptor. But I can honestly say it's a slippery slope when dealing with these creatures. If you can't say you have real dinosaurs in your dinosaur film, then it becomes something else entirely. In the future, I've got a ton of videos planned, so make sure to subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with my latest content. And if you feel like I deserve it, I'd appreciate a like. As always, guys, take it easy.